what the car is doing. You give the gas, it just wants to die. That's to the floor. Does not want to go at all. I don't know if you can hear it. Being quite noisy. And that's a OE replacement fuel pump from O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Wanted to do an update today on the my LS400. I know my last video I posted that the car broke down on me. It wasn't running properly. Past few days I've been diagnosing the car. I for sure thought the computer went out in this car. So I went and ordered me one from a junkyard that had got one out of a car that was hitting the rear, and the car ran. So I paid $150 for that one, had it shipped here and put it in the car. Made a huge difference in how the car ran, but it was still acting like it was starving for fuel. Couldn't figure out what was the deal. So yesterday I pull out the back seat and everything and opened the gas tank so I could look at the pump. Started the car up, and there's a little weep hole on the top of the fuel pump, and a ton load of fuel was coming out that weep hole. So, and yes, I'm gonna admit to a mistake that I have done, and I regret not doing in the previous 2 other fuel pumps I've put in this car in the past 2 years. When you do a fuel pump, you're supposed to change your fuel filter every time you change a fuel pump. And yes, I'm admitting that I did not do that. This time I did, and I'm glad I did. I put a brand new fuel pump in there, fixed a little bit of the wiring that goes to the fuel pump, new sock on it, everything, the whole 9 yards on the fuel pumps. Everything's brand new back there now. Went to change the fuel filter, and the fuel filter element broke. Yeah, it broke. Let me grab it so I can show you all what it looks like. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Now, I can't get a good position on the camera. Give me a second, I gotta switch hands here. Okay, now we're back. Right here is my fuel filter. This is the one, probably three and a half years ago, I did a performance fuel pump on the car that pushed 370 liters per hour, I think it is, or per minute or something like that. I can't remember. It was a high flow fuel pump. It went out on me. Never changed the fuel filter. Bought a OE replacement filter from O'Reilly's, put it in, the car ran great for a year, and then it went out. Warranty exchanged it, put another fuel pump in. The second one, or the third one, lasted me 5 months, 5 months, and it started leaking. Well, I mean, it probably would have been fine. I don't know how the weep hole and all that stuff works on those cars, or on these fuel pumps, so I decided, let's do another warranty on it. And because, if anybody knows a gentleman from Australia or New Zealand, I could be wrong, but I know he's from Australia. He has a YouTube channel called Cartoons or something like that. Very good gentleman, very good man. He very knowledgeable. He helped me through this to get through it. Yes, I've been a mechanic for quite a few years, but sometimes even as professional mechanics do run into a stump. And I'm not a professional, so say, on these cars. I'm learning as I go, as I own this car, and I've been working on it. So, but he corrected me, and I know I've been told when I was learning in school, always change the fuel filter when you do a fuel pump. I ignored that when I was doing it on my car. I don't know why. I was so stupid and never thought about it until he said something about it. He's like, did you change your fuel filter? I'm like, no, I haven't. He says, you're supposed to change that every time you do a fuel pump. I was like, well, shit. Okay, let me go get a fuel pump or a fuel filter. So I did. When I pulled the old one off, here's the old one. I know you're hearing it. You hear that? The filter element came loose inside the pump, was blocking the outside, the side that feeds the fuel to the motor, which was blocking the fuel and starving the motor of fuel. So stupid. I felt so stupid when I got this thing off and I noticed this thing was damaged. That's what was causing all my problems. I changed the computer, changed the fuel pump. I've almost changed the fuel pump relay. I even hot wired the fuel pump from the battery. I ran a wire from the battery to the fuel pump relay that bypassed everything and just put 12 volts to the fuel pump to make it work. And it still acted up. And I was like, what the hell? And everybody's like, did you check this? Did you check that? It's like, no, it has to be something with the fuel pump. Because I bypassed everything. I ran a direct 12 volt to the fuel pump and it still was doing the same thing. It would make a thumping sound. There's your thumping sound. And the car would have no power. It wouldn't go. And the whole time, this. So learn from my mistake. I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I'm a good mechanic, but I'm not perfect. Learn from my mistake. Always change your fuel filter when you do a fuel pump. And if you can help it, change your fuel pump on a regular basis. It's not supposed to be done every 3,000 or every time you do oil change. It's at least, I would want to say between 50 to 100,000 miles. Every 50 to 100,000 miles, you need to change these. And if you do have a failed fuel pump, regardless if you changed it a few weeks earlier or a year earlier, change a fuel pump filter. These things apparently are not as strong as they seem to be. And I'll show a few little clips, you know, or maybe, I don't know. I'll look through my little video and stuff, but the car's running great now. Accelerates hard, it's getting proper fuel pressure, and I'm happy now. This is a short video. I just wanted to update y'all on this. I know it's just me rambling on, nothing cool showing this time, but just showing you what I fucked up on. Excuse my language, but just showing what I messed up on and hoping y'all can learn from my mistake. And now I got a good running car. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and like my videos so I can do better content. Here tonight, if the weather holds out, yes, we're having a car meet. And tomorrow's Cars and Coffee. So hopefully we'll have a decent turnout for Cars and Coffee. And yes, I'm going to be trying to record everything. So we'll see how it goes. Y'all have a blessed day. And with the motor running, that's a amp draw on the fuel pump. I have it hooked up where the fuel pump relay goes. And that's what I'm getting. I figured you'd like to see this. You hear that? The inside of the fuel pump. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. You see that? Gets blocked off by something plastic in there. The fuel filter element came loose. And it was blocking off the out. What joy. That's what was causing the car to act stupid. Not the fuel pump or ECU or anything else. It was just this stupid thing.